Hey everyone, and welcome back to Nomifactory. So I think this episode is going to be quite a long one, for me at least. You see, we're getting to the first point in the game where the numbers start getting kinda crazy. Oh, and speaking of numbers, it seems that we're starting to actually fill this tier 7 energy core here. But yeah, just to give you guys a bit of an overview on where we're at in progression, the next major milestone in progression is going to be Portable Tank, which requires a Heart of the Universe, and this requires the tier 10 Microminer. And among other things, the tier 10 takes a lot of Neutronium. So Neutronium is something that takes somewhere in the region of 16 to 20 real life hours. I don't know if we're going to get it all this episode, honestly. I don't know if I'm that crazy. We'll see. I think there's a bit of deja vu going on here. This is a bit of a similar start to the last episode. But for Neutronium, we do need at least one more Fusion Reactor Mark III. Ideally, we want more than one, but I mean, we can only really afford one at the moment. And even just one more is going to wipe out a lot of resources here. Alright, so we got our fourth ring built here. I'm still waiting on the CEF and the controller to craft. However, we have to figure out the inputs for this system. We want to be running this recipe here for Gregtech Neutronium, which requires americium. We've been building this from fission for a very, very long time. So we're just importing that from our AE system, fluid extracting that, and that goes straight into the input hatch. And the second input is going to be Nequadria, not the same as regular Nequada or Nequada alloy. So we are inputting regular Nequada dust from our AE system into a ZPM centrifuge here, and this gives us a chance at Nequadria dust and enriched Nequada dust. The Nequadria dust we filter up, and this goes into a crafter to turn it into regular piles of Nequadria, where it's passed via this item conduit into the drawer. The enriched Nequada dust goes to the left hand side, and this goes into a crafter to turn it into regular dusts, and this we centrifuge once again. And when we do this, we get some of our original Nequada dust back, the input for this system. And we also get another chance at small piles of Nequadria. The original Nequada gets crafted into a full dust and gets sent over to our AE system, where it's then sent back to the start of the chain here. And the Nequadria from the second centrifuge goes up to a crafter to turn it into regular dust, and that goes again from the item conduit into this drawer here. So the Nequada dust I think we can only get from the Microminer mission tier 5s. I did just launch around 5 of those things, I think. I think we need somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 of these missions sent, so let's try to keep requesting these things. Oh man, it's so many resources to use, but it's worth it, we get Nequada from it. Yeah, so we want to storage bus this Nequadria right here. And Nequadria we can import into our fusion reactor. This is sent into an electric furnace to turn it into ingots. Then we can fluid extract into fluid and fusion react with americium, and we should get Neutronium from this, assuming our fusion reactor is actually finished crafting. Yeah. Are you running? It probably has to fill the energy buffer. Aha, we're making Neutronium! Oh, this is so nice. It's exciting and also disappointing in the realization of how far we've got to go with this. Because look, we only get 2 millibuckets per recipe. 2 millibuckets per recipe, we need 144 for an ingot, and we need 176 ingots of Neutronium for Creative Tank. Okay guys, it's been about 4 hours for me. What has 3 been up to? What have I been doing? Tiny little bit of AFK, but I've also been busy here around the base. So this is really just the point in the game where we need a lot of everything. We just need more, and so it's time to scale some stuff. Starting with 10 more simulation chambers from DML. I went round to increase some buffers on some passive processes around the base and noticed some basic material shortages for things like tin. Tin and silver I think were the biggest two. So I added some more blaze gas, enderman, and I think some skeleton in there as well. Next I went around and added some more turbines. It's exactly the same setup as we had last episode. And we got another 5 added onto our power tower, so it basically doubles our power output. And actually meant that we could turn off the fission reactor just to save some redstone and other materials for the coolant. Our base is now fully plasma powered. But yeah, pretty early on I went around and just double checked all of the passive processes, making things like the lumium and the signalum and derium. I want to make sure we can keep up dust production so that the blast furnaces can keep running. We definitely don't want any downtime on those EBFs. In fact, we probably have to add some more for Enderium. So at this point we had around 6 or 7 ingots of Neutronium, so I decided we run both of the fusion reactors for Neutronium since we'd built up a very large buffer of nickel plasma. We can run the turbines off our existing supply and have both of the fusions do Neutronium. I just split the americium and the Nequadria between them both. It's still going to be a very, very slow process though. And before this episode I did briefly switch our Mark III Fusion to Einsteinium. This is something that we need for the motes of Omnium, something I mentioned last episode. But we really didn't have to run that thing too long and we already got enough to finish the game, I think. We also now have another passive processing array addition onto our base. This is for solidified hydrogen, actually. One of the reasons why so early on we set up this thing for the electrolysis of water. So this is just with 16 EV fluid solidifiers. We input hydrogen from our AE system, and we solidify that into the ball mold, which gives us solidified hydrogen. And then we compact and draw this, and this gives us ultra dense hydrogen, which is 2 times compressed hydrogen. And with this we can send the microminer missions for stellar creation data. These are just tier 1 and 2 missions, but the stellar creation data we need actually to send the tier 9 and I think 10s? Just the tier 9 it looks like actually. It's maybe also worth mentioning here that we can get Neutronium from the tier 9, although as you can see here the tier 9 is not very cheap, and this also requires awakened draconium, the stellar creation of course, and we only get a few stacks of nuggets, which really doesn't equate to very much, considering the cost. And the last quest I worked towards was the tier 8 microminer, which takes the next tier of heavy plating. I set up all of the recipes and added the logic into our large microverse projector to send both of those missions. And just to account for the fact that we'll be sending so many microminers and all of these heavy platings are going to be so slow in the compressors, I removed the 2 single blocks that were over next to ZPM and fully upgraded the PA that we had for compressors up to ZPM, which should be able to handle every tier of heavy plating. So yeah, that's currently about where we're at. We're at 20 ingots of Neutronium here, and another 14 in this chest, so we're getting there. Slowly we're getting there. Alright, so in the meantime, let's start to work on the tier 8 missions. We need the tier 8s to send for chaos shards primarily, and we need chaos shards for the chaotic cores, which we can use to upgrade our injectors, and also craft the Neutronium solar panel, which I think we need for the tier 10. Yeah, we need 2 Neutronium solar panels for the tier 10 mission. So yeah, I put in some recipes here for the tier 8, and I mean it looks craftable. And you know what, let's get the quest for Neutronium, just to make it feel like we're making some progress here. Progress! So just to give you guys an idea of some numbers here, we need 486 motes of omnium, 24 tier 7 microminers, and 22 tier 8s to get creative tank. I think the tier 8 is still crafting, yeah, this is around 400 blocks of diamonds, so I'm really hoping our diamond supply is going to be good enough. We have 174k. I'm not sure that's going to last us to tank, honestly. This is a long overdue upgrade right here. You guys I've seen your comments on these as well. We need some acceleration cards in here. I reckon it's going to be around 300 or 400 of these. I want all this microminer crafting to be as smooth as possible at this stage. Yep, that was way more than 400, but I think we got them all now. And we got our very first tier 8 microminer. This should be a quest. Yeah, so of these 2 recipes here, we definitely want to send the Chaos Shard mission. We need Chaos Guardian data, which can only come from the tier 7 mission. So for every tier 8, we do need to launch a tier 7. And we do have 1 of these currently. Alright, projector is running. Hopefully all the logic here is correct. Alright, first of the Chaos Shards. And our quest, nice. So our priority with these is definitely to upgrade these injectors. We need 4 Chaos Shards per injector, plus 4 ingots of Neutronium. So that's a lot of tier 8s to run. So it's basically a tier 8 per injector. And we need enough injectors to be able to craft this reactor stabilizer. The reactor stabilizer is used in the tier 10 and 9 microminers. And we also need enough chaotic injectors to craft the Neutronium solar panel. So in all, we basically have to upgrade 10 of these draconic to up to chaotic. So I guess you know how I'll be spending my afternoon, and probably evening, and probably morning. I don't know when this video is going to come out. Let's see if we can get another tier 7. Nope, what are we missing here? Luminescence, that's more appetite. I noticed here we should probably also upgrade some more of these drawers. Hello, chicken. Oh my goodness, the grind is real. So we just hit 6 days played here. It's been around about 7 hours. Maybe 1 hour of that was AF. Man, these chickens are everywhere. They keep me company. They keep me sane here. Here in Nomifactory, where everything is getting a bit crazy. And, well, what have I been doing? I don't know. Just as a little measurement of progress here, we're on 58 Neutronium here, and I think 42 in our second one. But this fusion have since switched back to nickel plasma. We need to top up the buffer a little bit since I added some more turbines up there. But yeah, check this out. I think we got enough tier 8s to upgrade all of these fusion injectors. We're just missing our Neutronium. We're going to grab 40 from this chest right here. We're actually really not too far off the Neutronium production. These injectors alone cost us 83,000 diamonds. And so I've had to add a few more loot fabricators here just for the diamonds on the end. We are almost out of pristine shulker matter though. It's basically going through all of this stuff. I took all the level emitters off of these. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully the bulk of the diamond cost is out of the way. I actually made a start on the motes of omnium as well. We have about a quarter that we need. Each one of these things also takes around 460 diamonds. And the total number is 486, so we've got quite a ways to go with these things as well. But yeah, chaotic injectors, let's get all 10 at once. And actually we're going to have to craft an extra few of the draconic injectors. Since to craft the chaotic, we need to craft them in the injectors themselves at draconic tier. And we only got the one set of these things, so it's going to have to craft a few more of these first. Looks like we can pull this off though. So yeah, I suppose while that's crafting, let's run through some of the other changes around this base. We now have an EV electrolyzer for crushed black quartz. We added an extra IV pulverizer for blizz powder. Just about every one of these blast furnaces has been overclocked. We got one more for iridium. We doubled up the production of sand here for nether quartz. We added a second way to get phosphoric acid, which is then sent over to HV here to make luminescence. A couple of switch ups in the data models that we're running just to balance out some of the resource production. We got another PA on the end here for cluster mills. And there's been a handful more ore washers and pulverizers added to ore processing. We cleaned up a little incident that you might have spotted here at the vacuum freezers. Oh, that was definitely fun to clean up. We upgraded the chemical reactors in the stem cell and the wetware board production. These are now LUV chemical reactors, up from IV. And finally, I think, besides increasing some more buffers and whatnot, we got an extra blast furnace here at UV. We're going to be using this probably later on today, I think. Aha, it's crafting the chaotic injectors, nice. This is probably quite a big drain on our energy buffer here. Oh, it's actually emptied it. Oh, no way. Oh no, I didn't think about this actually. Yeah, is this 30 billion per craft? We really should be careful. Maybe I'm going to turn on this reactor again. Yeah, we really do have to be careful here. I think it has 3 more to craft, so that's another 90 billion. I don't think we can afford that, honestly. Our AE system and things might go out temporarily here. It doesn't seem to be slowing down, but I guess this is the first thing in the network out of the output of this thing. So technically it's got priority on all the power. Yeah, we're on 9. This should be the last one here. You know, I'm hoping I counted correctly is the other thing. The chaotic fusion injectors. I'm gonna switch this bottom row out, I think. We'll put the chaotic on the bottom here. Yeah, and doing this means we're actually left with some extra wyvern. So we can end up having 3 full sets of these things now. That should parallelize more of these draconic fusion crafts. Not that this is the biggest bottleneck though in our system. Alright, so the next step in progression for us is going to be this reactor stabilizer. We do need some more chaos shards for this reactor core though. It takes 4 more for this. And we need a handful of these cores for the tier 9 and 10. But for the stabilizer craft, we're actually missing some TNT. Not very much, but we are missing a little bit of TNT here. And I think ultimately that comes down to toluene production, wherever we create that. Yeah, over here is TNT, so we mix toluene, sugar, and tiny polyethylene pulp for gelled toluene. And the toluene we only make out of this distillation tower here. It also doesn't run very frequently here, there is some downtime on this. And we also only get 20 millibuckets per recipe here. So I think we're going to have to come up with a second way of generating toluene, even if it is just temporary here. I'm thinking maybe we go for wood tar, because wood tar can give us 600 millibuckets per. So that means 1 more distillation tower, and wood tar we can get from a pyrolyze oven with logs. We have lots and lots of logs, and we can make steam very easily in the fluid heater. Yeah, so I think we're actually immediately going to tear this thing down. I really didn't know where else to put this thing, so it's like almost next to our terminals here. I mean, we're already backed up on toluene here, and this is, I mean, it didn't take me 4 hours, despite what the timer says. Actually, we'll leave it, it's already built anyway. I think we're going to tear out all of these machines today. Assuming we can actually get the tank, but I mean, it would be pretty unsatisfying if I left you guys without the tank this episode, right? We've come this far already. So neutronium-wise, we're up to 42 here, and 40, yeah, nearly 40 in this one as well. And remember, we did take out 40 for the chaotic injectors. But yeah, we fixed our TNT issue, we got a full drawer now, and I think we can craft this reactor stabilizer. We need 3 in total for the tier 9 and 10. Oh, that's right, elite plating. So for this we need the DU plating, which is used in the reactor actually. I think we can make this already. And we also need the crushed rhodochrosite. Don't worry though, I got this taken care of as well. So this we're making over here at IV. Very simple chemical reactor recipe, sulfuric acid, redstone ore. This gives us quite a bit of molten redstone back, so I'm just storing that in the fluid tank. But yeah, this is giving us our rhodochrosite. We'll have 170 here, which I think is going to be plenty. We really don't need too much of this elite plating. So yeah, we can just add a recipe here for the elite plating and request a reactor core. One more recipe here for DU plating. There we go. That's 1 of 3 down. Oh, you know what? I wonder if we can actually request a reactor core as well. We're just missing chaos shards. Do we have a tier? I think we have a tier 8 crafted, right? I've more or less just been sending these things every 30 minutes. I just go in here, request another one, hit the start button. I've actually lost count of how many of these things I've crafted. But yeah, we can get 1 more here for chaos shards, which should give us this reactor core. I don't think there's anything else we need for this thing. Okay, there's a few things actually. The chaos shards we're working on. Neutronium plates, we can actually add a recipe for this. And probably the compactor, we definitely only want to do these things 1 at a time. Same with the neutronium rod recipe, I think we'll just do this one. 500 seconds! 500 seconds, okay. I mean, I guess it's only going to do a few of these things. And yeah, the other thing is quantum fluxed eternium heavy plating, which is the next tier of heavy plating, only used in the tier 9. So this is where this blast furnace is going to come into play here. We need to supply this with krypton gas, has to be running at UV with at least superconductor coils. I put on fusion so that we can handle the tier 10 plating. So fluid interface to supply the krypton. We should have plenty of this backed up from cryogenic air distillation. We also need 400 fluxed armor platings, which really isn't too bad. The fluxed electrum and the flux crystals we have on passive. We got 360 right now, so let's craft up another 40 or 50. And the other thing is 40 awakened draconium plates. That is going to be a lot of awakened draconium. We can manage though, we can do this. There's also quantum flux in the recipe. I actually changed the way we were getting quantum flux. The way we used to do it over here in the crafter was using extraterrestrial matter and pulsating crystals. However, pulsating crystals do eat up diamonds and we want to be conservative with our diamonds. So instead I've switched up the recipe here and we're instead using extractors. So we use extractors with impossible realm data. And this can give us the quantum flux all the same. So impossible realm data is just made with extraterrestrial matter and solidified experience, which is made over here. We have a level limiter to control the amounts. So doing it this way means that we cut out the need for diamonds and we can save those for other important things. Oh, and I guess we just order 2 fusion crafts at once. It's going to make wiring cores for the reactor stabilizer, so I mean I suppose this is the bottleneck now. Okay, here we go, let's make this plating. This recipe isn't very long, is it? I think it's only 10 seconds at UV. Perfection, that's what we like to see. Reactor stabilizer is finished crafting. Can we get a reactor core now? Yep, we got the extra chaos shards. And you know what, I really don't know how this video is going to turn out. We're already 16 hours in here, and we're committed. We're doing this. There's our quest, we got like another 30 to craft. And while we got this blast furnace set up actually, let's look at the tier 10 mission. So the tier 10 microminer, we need 42 of these neutronium heavy platings. And each plating is 2 neutronium plates each. And the plates are 1-to-1 with ingots, so it means we need 84 neutronium. I think we might just barely be able to scrape that together right now. And we also need Einsteinium for this neutronium heavy plating. I did actually save some of this as fluid form. I think it's in this one here. Yeah, as I noticed, this Einsteinium can't be fluid extracted once you solidify it. Not sure if that's intentional or not. But yeah, this recipe here shouldn't have too long to go. Yeah, we have 83 neutronium. We're 1 off. Maybe I'll just double check, just to double count this thing. I don't want to waste neutronium on this. Yeah, it is 42, so the last ingot of neutronium just finished up there. Let's swap out the krypton gas with Einsteinium. Needs more energy, uh-oh. Oh, I guess we're only giving this thing 1 ZPM CEF. Fortunately, I don't think this voids the recipe, unlike GTNH, so it's a bit forgiving in that sense. As long as you don't break the controller, I believe. There we go. Now are you happy? I think so, it seems to be progressing. Alright, there's our first neutronium heavy plating. There's an extra 17 neutronium that we need for this thing though, and also carbon dust. How can we possibly be out of carbon dust? Okay, placing in some coke, which we get out of the pyrolyzed oven. Look how quick this is as well. So pulverizes into coke dust, centrifuge into carbon dust, and we can store in a drawer here. I don't know how long we've been out of this thing, but it looks like it's all being used right now. The buffer is not filling up, this drawer, because we've got a storage bus on the side. Alright, so for tier 9, I think that just leaves us with this Gravistar. The heavy plating we can put inside. Yeah, just Gravistar and Neutronium. Gravistar is just 36 millibuckets of Neutronium plus a Nether Star, so this is pretty simple to make once we have a little bit of excess Neutronium. To actually send the mission itself, we do also need 4 stacks of stellar creation data. Remember, this we get from ultra dense hydrogen, sending either tier 1s or tier 2s. If we send a tier 1, we get 1. If we send a tier 2, we get 4. And I think the extra cost of the tier 2 is worth for the extra 3 stellar creation data. So it means we need a stack of tier 2s. Can we send a stack of tier 2 mission? Oh yeah, we can. Nice. Stack of microminers. Alright, let's do this. And yeah, I guess that just means we're waiting on Neutronium now. We're like 40 ingots short still. Is it worth for one more reactor? If it takes diamonds, no, it's probably not worth it. Let's see, can we even afford one of these things? We're just missing 64 beryllium, wow. Oh, and some titanium. Ah, you know what, I just remembered about these motes of omnium. I think we saved the beryllium for this. We're missing quite a lot here. It looks kind of scary, but I think a lot of this is just buffer issues. Yeah, 256, that kind of tells me that it's probably a level limiter somewhere. We'll have to somehow come up with some more arsenic dust and exquisite diamonds. But that's really just a matter of sending more microminers. Oh, and the sulfur dust. I bet that's all being used for sulfuric acid right now, which is why we have this little pillar. Yeah, this is empty right here. I think this machine is on. Let's stop this machine. Let's build up some more sulfur for this. But yeah, not too much else to do right now. We'll see how many hours the next cut takes. We're gonna get creative tank though. It's happening. It's gonna happen. Where did this guy come from? Oh, these animals. I wonder... oh, you know what? I bet he spawned on this grass here, on our lawn base. Anyways, a couple of hours later, we got some more Neutronium here. And I believe we can craft our tier 9. It's craftable, right? Oh, we're missing one. Oh, I miscounted. You know what? Let's combine these two. Yeah, I've got both of the fusion reactors doing Neutronium now. There's the last ingot. Alright, yeah, check this out. Tier 9 is craftable. So that just leaves us with the tier 10 craft. Once we have this, we have creative tank, right? And I got a little bit scared seeing this 103,000 missing diamond dust. We've went through something like 600,000 diamonds today. So to do something about that, I set up this little system over here with some chemical reactors. Using this tier 4 microminer mission, we can get 2 stacks of dense diamond ore. Then we can make some nitric acid, just made with some oxygen, water, and hydrogen. Or nitrogen, rather. And each dense diamond ore turns into 16 diamond ore. That goes into the drawer controller, into ore processing, which has received another few upgrades. And then diamond dust, we can actually just autoclave in water for diamonds. It's actually a very simple conversion like this. And we have the PA to speed this up. I did also try to add some more simulation chambers for shulker, but that's going to take way too long. There's no way we can get 100,000 diamonds that way, so it's going to be the tier 4 microminer way. How are we doing on this tier 9? It's making a field generator UV. This is actually the first time we're making UV field generator since it takes Neutronium. I hope the assembly line can handle this. It looks like no is the answer. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, the items are inside. Oh, you know what? We just have to extend this 2 blocks. We only have a 12 input assembly line and we need 14 for this. Wait a minute, I think this is too long now. I don't think we can have one this size. I think we have to take out some of these integrated circuits from here. Yeah, there is a maximum size that we can have to this thing. There we go, we're off, we're crafting. You know, there's been a few times where I thought it might have been a good idea to have a 2nd or 3rd or 4th assembly line. It's just that every time I went to do that, there was other things that came up and we were missing so many other things. But yeah, here it is, the tier 9 microminer. And that pretty much completes the late game chapter here. We've got Nequada reactors, which we may or may not get into. Now we're in the end game. The end game. So for this we need the Neutronium solar panel. Wait, where is the quest for that even? Oh, I guess we need the mote of omnium quest, which means we need to hold all of these elements here. Well, good thing we don't have all of the motes that we need yet. We're at 240 out of 486, so yeah. Let's store this in here for later. I got all the inputs ready to send this thing. So yeah, I guess we have to go through and hold each one of these elements, at least a stack, I believe. All of them though, we do have automated, of course. Okay, this really is tedious, but I don't really know if there's a better way for them to do this, honestly. This should totally be optional if you hold the motive omnium. Okay, we picked them all up except 3, and these are locked, I believe, because of the mid-game chapter. I think we have to unlock these quests here for uranium fission. Oh yeah, I don't think we make 235 fuel, do we? And same for this Californium 252. I don't think we make this. Oh, this is going to be a rabbit hole to try to find the route to get these things. We should be able to manage it though with the berkelium and californium we have here. It's one of these versions. Yeah, so the berkelium actually gave us the californium that we needed. And LU235 we can just straight up craft from our AE system. So that completes them all, right? We need... oh, we need exotic material. We need all these ones as well. Man, that's a lot of quests linked to this one. Yeah, you're no kidding, quest book. Alright, there you go. Motive Omnium. So yeah, these 2 quests unlock the chaotic cores. We need to hold 4 for the quest, presumably to get this Neutronium solar panel. And I have been sending more 7 and 8, so we have 20 chaos shards, which I think is enough for 4 of these cores. It's 4 each. Oh, we're short Neutronium. Yeah, I just emptied this thing. Oh, we got another one. I keep throwing these eggs, but that's really not a good idea because it only results in more eggs showing up. If I'm not wrong, inside this microverse projector should be the last tier 8, which means that we do have all the chaos shards that we need now. So yeah, even more expansion now. This is about 2.5 hours later. And we should have 4 craftable chaotic cores. Perfect. Let's make sure this thing is actually crafting. Hey, you know what? These are crafting relatively quickly. Unfortunately though, that's just about all the excitement for probably another few hours for me. So the next steps is the Neutronium panel, and we're short a couple hundred draconium. That's mainly because of dragon scales, though I did add a few more simulation chambers. I think I've added like 20 of these things today. Maybe 15 of these are dragon, which we need for the dragon scales, which we need for draconium. I also done some overclocks here with oil so that we could get enough nitro diesel. Yeah, I found over here that we had actually run out of light fuel and diesel, but after the overclocks it seems to be able to keep up with this system now. But yeah, checking the craft here for the tier 10, it doesn't look so scary anymore. We're only 4 neutronium short, which is probably in the chest already. Some draconium, a tiny bit of titanium, but I have spent quite a lot of this in the last few hours, to be honest. 74,000 diamond dust, that's all processing right now. The rest is all good, and I think that's it, to be honest. Yeah, so 74,000 diamonds. How do we get more diamonds? How long do you think it's going to take to get 74,000 at this rate? Around about an hour and 10 minutes. Oh man, look at this. We can craft our tier 10. But first of all, we definitely want to grab the Neutronium solar panel. We need 2 of these things, I believe. And we're also going to be up against it in terms of the power cost. I'm really hoping we can actually get these things crafted. Yep, here we go. Here's the first one. It's stuck charging. Oh no, that's not a good sign. That is not... Look how slow it's going. Oh my goodness. Do we cut power to the rest of our base right now? Maybe we just turn some processes off in the base. We don't need this fusion reactor running anymore. Same with just about every one of these blast furnaces. We don't need these anymore. Yeah, you know what? Let's cut the line here. I hope I don't regret this. So all of the power should be going into this thing now. This is going to be close. This is this is going to be close. So because we cut the power, our AE system is now out, and we're no longer producing gelid cryothium. It's getting there though. It's at 80%. And it has 2 to craft, but we may be able to use the power that this thing generates to craft the second one. I really hope there's not going to be any issues with NBT data, but this thing will generate 8 million RF per tick. So as long as we get 1, we should be able to get the second one much easier. I don't want to take a chance. I've disconnected the reactor again. The sender tank ended up empty. 92%. This is going to be slow going. I think we cut the line again. So right now it's only receiving power from the turbines, and it's all going into the solar panel. Yeah, 134 billion cost for this thing. Oh, it's crafting. We charged it all. We got all the RF in. Okay, this should be it, I think. That's 1. We can place this down here. I think we have to power the AE system to get it to craft. Wait, the craft does still exist, right? We didn't... We didn't void those items, did we? With the power going out? Oh no, it's still here, it's in this one. Oh yeah, looks like it did restart itself successfully. So we're still crafting the panels, but we do also have to overclock this large projector. The tier 9 and 10 missions require UV and max, and I think this is only running at ZPM right now. Ah yeah, this one here, we need to swap this out with 2 UV. Wait, isn't this how we get max? Or is it 4 energy inputs we need for max? It still says it's at UV, Here we go, the second panel just finished crafting. There's the quest, no NBT data issues I think. So what's left to do now is to craft a tier 10. Uh-oh. Oh no, of course, that's the solar panels. I got a little bit scared there, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, in that case, we send the tier 9 mission first. I think we have everything here for it. Awakened Draconium, 4 stacks of Stellar Creation, and a tier 9. This will probably take a few minutes, I think. We didn't miss any quests over here, did we? No, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think the mission just finished. We should have universe creation data. So this is the last gated item that we need to send the tier 10 and therefore get the heart of the universe. Let's grab these 2 solar panels again. Now we can craft the tier 10. That was fast. Nice. Alright, so let's try this out. I hope this works. Tier 10, universe creation, and 8 blocks of awakened draconium. Is it progressing? I think so. It's not complaining about energy, so patience. Patience is all we need here. This video's taken almost 30 hours to make. We can wait an extra 2 minutes here. And you know, I actually had zero intention of going for this tank this episode. I don't know what made me say, maybe we'll get it today, and then... But by halfway through the episode, we were too committed, right? I mean, we have to get this now. It's almost there, I think. Almost there. Heart of the universe. Alright, so how do we make creative tank from here? This is actually a really, really clever recipe, so check this out. This Heart of the Universe, we have to fluid extract at ZPM. This gives us 145 millibuckets of molten creative portable tank. Then we can fluid solidify that with the mold. Yeah, and this leaves us with exactly 1 millibucket of creative portable tank. I'm sure you can guess what's coming next. 6 days, 13 hours, 25 minutes for creative portable tank. Oh yeah. So yeah, all that's left to do now is to make more of them. Place the tank, place in the molten version, and this will just infinitely create us more tanks. And any fluid we want, basically. And with that, this is definitely time to wrap up this episode. This was definitely a bit of a strange one, I'm not gonna lie. So at least it was for me. I mean, almost, well, I think it was 29 hours we clocked playtime here. Just to give you guys an idea of what is coming up here, this is our next goal. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Take care, and I'll see you all soon for some more Nomifactory.